Right. So are they in the system now?
They're currently involved with DCF, yes, but my dad has them.
Oh, that's good though. At least a
My dad
family
has
member has them, because I went through foster care and I just did not like it. Now, quick question. You say you get a check every month, so
Yes.
is that not enough to?
It's $9.75 a month, and I can't even find a house that would budget or fit that.
Got you.
It's hard out here, it really is.
You have a phone?
Yes.
You know those apartments called the Preserve at Sable Park down there?
Mm-hmm.
If you go on Williams Road, if you ever venture down there, or even if you look it up, all the apartments on Williams Road are income based.
Really?
What that means, yeah, just sign up for the waiting list. Get someone to help you.
Can you write it down for me?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
See,
Right now my phone's in.
I sure will, but what those do is
No, baby, it's okay.
they might have a long waiting list too. Like when you call, they're gonna be like, the waiting list is 3-4 years. The issue is when they get to the point in the waiting list or that they have an apartment open, if the people aren't answering their phone, they go to the next person. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if you answer your phone, you have an apartment. So
They're gonna come to me.
exactly. So with income based, they go by what you make. So if you only make $9.25 or $9.75 a month, your rent may be $4.75. I'm not saying it's not going to still be a big chunk of your check, but at least
It's something.
Yeah, you take that paper somewhere to stay, and then everything else you can work out. You can make more money from inside of the house if you have one, but it's like, just start to look for things that will help people like us. Because again, income-based housing is for people like us. Okay, especially with you having a baby that may propel you being pregnant. Now on the flip side, you're 23 years old right now.
Yes.
If you could go back to your 18-year-old self and tell her anything, if you could time travel, what would you tell her?
Don't ever let people bring you down. I wouldn't change my circumstances at all. Some people tell me, why did you get with your husband? Why did you get homeless for him? And I wouldn't change it.
You have any questions? She's 23.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I became homeless with my husband when I was 18 and he was 19. We moved in with my parents. He's of African American descent, and my parents didn't really like him too well, but they tolerated him for 8 years, and then my mom just recently passed away in July, and my dad kicked me and my husband out, and he's fighting for custody of my 3 little boys who are 4, 2, and 1 years old.
What led to your husband going to jail?
He has 2 assault and battery charges with a deadly weapon. Somebody tried to harm me at a gas station on 50th and Broadway, and he protected me.
Did he get found guilty, or did he?
We don't know yet. He's only been in there for 10 days.
Oh, okay. So hopefully he gets out.
I'm praying.
Do he have the bond?
Yes, he does. 10,000.
Okay.
And they're asking for collateral. That's the only thing that's stopping me from getting him out. Because, like I said, I get $9.75. I get paid literally in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
All I would have to do is, if I'm thinking correctly, is come up with an extra $100 and some dollars.
Right.
That would get him out. But because he's considered a flight risk because he's homeless, they're asking me to put a house or a car down, and I don't have that.
Right.
What about his family? Was you able to go with his family?
He went through foster care himself from the age of 6 to 16. His dad got sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. His mother was a drunk and abandoned him on the borderline of Atlanta, Georgia, and at an airport, and never went back for him. At the age of 6, then he went into foster care.
So he's been going through it since he got here.
Yes. They arrested him at the age of 16 because he was in foster care from 6 to 16, and he ended up aging out. He got in some legal trouble on the border of Utah, selling drugs in a stolen car, and they gave him the option to be banned from his home state and never come back until he was, I think, 25. I think they told him he could come back, which he's chosen not to, and he's that age now. Or he could be extradited to Florida to some family members that he had down here, so he wouldn't have to do time up there. Because he was going to be charged as an adult at the age of 16. So he chose to come down here to his aunt. Things didn't work out with his aunt. He ended up sleeping under her staircase and bouncing around from house to house. And that's actually how I met him. Was he was sleeping at a McDonald's, and at the time I lived with my parents, and I brought him home the first night. It was love at first sight.
Yeah.
I bought him food and I brought him home.
Y'all have 4 kids together?
Yes, we do.
Okay. What's the age?
4, 2, 1, and currently on the way due September 2nd. And they're all boys.
I was gonna say, and then you said that's a boy too, so y'all got all boys, all champions, huh?
No girls. No niñas.
What's some of the most difficult things you deal with out here on the streets on a regular basis?
Well, this isn't his first rodeo with incarcerations. When he's out here with me, he's a very big protector. He's in the game like that. He's not something that people want to play with. He's a very family orientated man. He's a very good husband, a very good father. And one thing he don't play about is me or his children. And when he's out here with me, I feel safe. I feel comfortable. I know that I don't have to live without, any worries. But then when I'm here right now, as we speak, present by myself, when he protects me and has to go through trials and tribulations and has to deal with, like I said, incarceration because of other men don't know how to act towards women and children, and he gets overprotective like he does. It's scary out here, especially with a woman being by herself. I have to have my dog. I gotta have my pepper spray, my taser. I have an air horn. I have a BB gun, all for the safety of my protection, because there's men out here who do approach us women when we don't have our man present with us. It's scary. I've been raped at the age of 12.
And how did that happen?
I was going door to door selling juice boxes and cookies for my elementary school in 5th grade, I believe it was. And the man pulled me inside and assaulted me on his couch.
Did he ever go to jail for that?
Yes, he did. He got extradited to Texas. He actually had no green card. He was here illegally. Yes.
Damn. What's some of the things you had to face out here?
Good things.
Good and bad.
My kids were conceived out here. I mean, it's not something to brag about, but
Well, at least they got a roof over their head
if
right
it
now.
wasn't for them, I don't know what I'd do. My kids are what has kept me together. I mean,
And right now
there's
they with
really-
your father?
yes, there's really, if I had to be God's honest truth, there's really nothing good out here for us. There's not.
Have you seen people like overdose out here on fentanyl and things like that?
Not out here personally, but when we were homeless out in Polk County, Lakeland, Florida, my husband had a friend by the name of PJ, and in my whole 23 years of my life, I've never seen a dead body. And it was my husband's 23rd birthday. He's 25 now. And he and me were hanging out, and he literally, I kid you not, invited PJ to come hang out with him in 3 days for his birthday. He wanted to get drunk with his friend, hang out, vibe, cool and collect.
Right.
And then the day came of his birthday, and PJ never showed up to the little homeless housing place, which used to feed the homeless above a US North 98.
Yeah.
And me and my husband knew that something was terribly wrong. And the next thing you know, all the homeless people were running out the woods saying, PJ slumped over, PJ slumped over. And my husband's first reaction, like I said, he's very protective when it comes to even his friends.
Yeah.
He ran, and I ran behind him, thinking that maybe PJ was just asleep or going through a medical problem.
Gonna help him.
We've only knew him for 3 weeks, but we became real intact with this boy. He was the sweetest heart. He was 18. He was young. And we went back there. We didn't know he was on drugs. And I've never seen a dead body before. So that was really traumatizing for me. Yes, he was my first body I've ever seen. He was overdosed. He had the funnel coming out of his mouth, yay high, eyes rolled back. There was blood coming out of his nose, blood coming out of his ears and eyes. And there was brain matter coming out of
What did he overdose on?
If you really want to know, somebody put battery acid in his heroin.
That is
And it, I guess,
it make your brain come out like that? Nah, note to self.
Oh, so the corrosive off the battery that hardens up, they put that in there as though it was heroin, and he shot
yes,
battery acid corrosion
yes,
inside his veins.
yes, he did.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And I personally feel like somebody was after him. I don't know if anybody ever got sentenced on it or not. That I couldn't tell you. Because after that happened, we stayed there for maybe a couple more weeks. And I couldn't even, as a woman, walk through the woods without living in fear every time I would have visions.
Yeah.
It was a common reoccurrence. I was scared. I would see things, you know, and it was getting bad for my mental state. And then a couple weeks after PJ, an old man that would feed me, feed my husband, make sure our dogs were taken care of whenever we had to go somewhere. Because we used to have 5 dogs at the time in Polk County. His name was Tony. He was an older gentleman, much smaller than PJ. He was our second body that I had seen. As for my husband, he's probably seen more throughout his life, but me, that was my second time seeing somebody hurt. But this guy here didn't overdose. He was a drunk real bad, but like I said, he was caring. Really kind-hearted man. Like I said, he would feed me and my husband.
Yeah.
Some guy decided to get drunk with him from the store on the streets, and then when Tony ran out of beer, he got angry and he hit Tony over the head, and he fell in the water face first in the mud and drowned.
Oh my.
He never woke back up, and his body floated for 2 weeks, and the turtles actually ate his face off. He was unrecognizable.
That is crazy as heck.
Yes, and they
So
stole
y'all
his
been
dog
through
too in the process.
Lord have mercy. So y'all been through some stuff, huh?
Yes.
What type of advice you would have for another young lady getting out here?
Like I was just telling her, if you got a man out here with you, and as long as they don't beat you, they don't mistreat you, I don't care if you're married or you're not married to them. I don't care if they're on drugs or if they're not on drugs. Even if you're the only sober person in the relationship, like me and my husband, he's not sober. Me, on the other hand, I am. I've never touched drugs in 23 years of my life, other than marijuana and Black and Miles.
Yeah,
And I only do it when I'm not pregnant.
right.
But like I said, if y'all have a man out here, they struggling too. It's not just us women that go through a mental, physical, and emotional state. Men go through a lot of shit too that they don't like to talk about. I've seen my man go through depression and say, I'm okay, I'm all right, and realization, no, the fuck you're not. You're not. Men go through a lot out here too. And as long as, like I said, he's not harming you as a woman, he's there for you, he's helping you, and he's a good father and a good husband, hold that man down. Because at the end of the day, that might be all you have. And then once you don't have it, like you look around and you realize it's gone, or that it continuously keeps leaving because your husband going through a situation right now in a constant cycle, just hold that man down and be there for him. Please don't ever leave him, because he needs you. He really does.
Oh, that's right, Paula. Thank you so much for your insight. You're extremely serious.